Straight out of the academy, I was assigned to this neighborhood stabilization unit out of Brownsville. This was during the Fort Apache days. Remember those? Nah, none of you do. You're too young. Anyway, murder rate in the city then was 4 times what it is now. So one night I'm out on patrol with my FTO, this tough black and blue, named Lonnie Churchill. Lonnie. He was like, he could have been Marvin Hagler's big brother, right? So one night we're out there, and we get a call on the radio that there's a robbery at a bodega. So we go screaming up just as the perp comes jamming out of the store, right? Before we can roll to a stop, bang! He fires a shot at us. Just one. And it didn't come anywhere near us. I don't think he intended to, but still. Anyway, he takes one look at Lonnie and practically shits himself. Tosses away the gun like it's on fire. Turns out the perp was just a kid, and we caught him a couple of times being a lookout on a crack corner. And we'd slap him around and let him go with a warning. Don't you ever let us catch you on this block again. That kind of shit. This was different. Now this kid, Terrence was his name, couldn't have been more than 17 years old. The kind of kid who would smile when he got nervous. Even when you're smacking him around, he'd smile. The damnedest thing. And he'd look up at you with those big brown Bambi eyes. Boy. Anyway. Instead of going in the house and booking the kid, Lonnie has me drive to one of those Grandmaster Flash ghost town streets. Broken out windows with a cardboard all over it, newspapers blown around like tumbleweeds, and the stench of pot and piss. So Lonnie grabs the kid out of the back of the car, puts him down on the ground, face up, pulls out his arm right between 2 cinder blocks, and he tells me, jump on it with both feet, as hard as you can, aim for the back of the elbow. Bam! Right? Now you break an elbow like that, and it's just not going to heal right. You could even rupture the artery, right? And a kid will lose his arm. Now Terrence knows this. And he's still scared, smiling, looking at me with those big sad eyes. And I know this, right? So I pull Lonnie aside and I whisper in his ear, look, Lonnie, he's a kid. Okay? He made a mistake, all right? I think he's scared enough. And so on and so forth. Lonnie turns to me and whispers back, you want to teach this kid a lesson? You want to do him a favor? You want to give him something to remember us by? Now, quickly Lonnie learns I'm not going to do this. He can't talk me into it. So without a word, he picks up the kid, puts him back in the back of the car, and off to the house we go with a booking and a story, right? 7, 8 years later, I hear about this detective who gets blasted in a drug rip in one of the Brownsville projects, right? Shooters in the wind. Now, anytime a cop gets killed, it's going to move the needle. But we were losing guys every few weeks back then, so I really didn't pay much mind to it. Until I heard the shooter's name. Next morning, I answer my door. Who's there? Lonnie. And so I'm thinking, okay, I know. We're gonna go over to Queens. We're gonna go to the dead cop's wake and pay our respects. He's right. It's the least I can do. Okay, I get it. Instead of going over to Queens, though, Jersey. He gets on the turnpike and gets off a Secaucus. Now, at first, I'm relieved because I really didn't want to face the grieving widow with all the weepy kids with the snot on their ties and all that shit. But then, Lonnie turns off the road and he starts heading towards the Meadowlands. Now, I'm not scared, exactly. Not yet. But I know how many bodies are buried out there. But I'm thinking, come on. There's no way Lonnie's gonna clip me. No matter how pissed he is. Just because I gave some kid some compassion? No way. But he turns off the road, gets out, and he leads me into some weeds. Right? Now these weeds are taller than the both of us in some spots, right? So we're working our way through the weeds. Out of nowhere, it opens up. There we are, in this little clearing. And that's when I see him. There's like 12 guys. Now there's no uniforms, but you can tell they're all on the job. And they got shovels and quicklime. And they're all standing around this big rectangle hole that you just finished digging. I'm freaking out a little bit. And then I see, right at the edge of the hole, is a man kneeling. I don't know how long they were beating on him, but his head was so swollen, it hurt to look at. And I see him looking up at me with those big sad eyes. Only now, it's through a little slit because it's so swollen. And he's still got that nervous smile. Only now, I can't see his teeth on account of all the blood. And I can feel all the cops staring at me, boring a hole in my head. I don't know what Lonnie told them. Lonnie squeezes a burner in my hand, and I'm looking at this thing. And there's no tape on the grip. Why? Because as soon as it's over, it's going to go in the hole with him. And the quicklime will wipe out all the prints. Anyway, he puts the gun in my hand. He takes a look at Terrence, on his knees, shaken with fear, swollen face, looking up at us, hoping he's not going to be killed. And he comes up to me, and he just whispers in my ear, "Okay, you broke it. You bought it.